Hello, everybody, and welcome to Swampy Comics. I'm Swampy, and today we'll be doing our weekly tier list this week for the comics that came out for the week of December 17th, 2025. And we got a good number of them. So let's just jump right in. And warning ahead of time, spoilers most likely for most of these books. First up, we got Absolute Flash. This is written by Jeff Lemire with art by Nick Robles, colors by Adriano Lucas, and letters by Tom Napolitano. We have part two of the Rogues' revenge story arc, with them helping Wally get into Fort Fox and hopefully save his father from the clutches of one evil Eleanor Thawne. I really liked this issue. This series is picking up in a major way. Um, you know, it I'm it feels like a version, like it feels very much like the Flash mythos, like mainline, but a version that I like a lot more because I'm not the biggest Flash guy, but I'm all about Absolute Flash. We have it picking up with our heroes after uh, being betrayed by trickster Jesse James. They are luckily survived the crash of their vehicle that was induced by Trickster and Eleanor Thawne. And man, yeah, I really like this little road to revenge that the rogues seem on. I like that they're very much gray area soldiers of fortune that kind of just want to be done with all of this, as opposed to the hardened bank robbing criminals they are in the mainline Flash universe. Um, and we're getting a lot more weirdness with this whole the way the Speed Force or Still Force or whatever Omega Force that's powering Wally. We're getting more of what's going on with that in the form of Eobard Thawne. That's right, the reversed Flash has come to the Absolute Universe, and he's a terrifying monstrosity of energy. Um, and yeah, lots of weird, trippy, time stuff. I like that time travel was a thing that in mainline Flash came through slowly in the mythos. And I like that we're just, I mean, right from the very first 2 pages of the first issue of this series, we're dealing with it um, in a very mysterious and obscure way where Wally is more witnessing things. Like, is he traveling back and forth? Is he kind of having this Dr. Manhattanish, um, you know, omnipresence in different timelines in certain periods. Who knows? But yeah, I really like this, man. This is just so much is just building up to cool, dark superhero epicness. Yeah, this might have been the best issue of this series so far. It's going A tier. This was great this week, man. Absolute Flash, yeah, A tier for sure. Next up, we got Batman Superman World's Finest, number 46. This one was written by Mark Waid, with pencils and inks by Adrian Gutierrez, as well as some inks by Vicente Cifuentes, colors by Tambra Bonvillain, and letters by Steve Wands. We are in part two of the merger story arc, where Lex Luthor and Joker have merged together, and Batman and Superman have become intangible. Yeah. I like seeing Hawkman. I'm not too familiar with Hawkman, but every time he pops up, I'm like, that guy's a badass. So one of these days, I got to go read more Hawkman stories that aren't necessarily JSA and get more into that character because I really like what I see when he pops up. But we have him, the whole crux of this storyline is a weird artifact brought in from the Hawkman mythos that I can't remember the name of all of the sudden, but it basically yeah, it's an omni something. Oh, I'm just drawing a blank. Oh my gosh. But anyway, this MacGuffin is allowed Joker to merge and is made Superman and Batman intangible. So they have to enlist the help of one Hal Jordan to help them do something that he doesn't remember. Because early on in the Batman Superman World's Finest, I think the very first story arc of this series, I called it. We had Batman and Superman merging into their kind of weird Green Lantern Batman Superman as one form to combat Lex Luthor and Joker in their form. And yeah, I don't know. This is just a lot of fun. Um, I'm 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 just I don't know. This is a nice little break from all the heavy lore and storytelling that's going on in mainline, and just dealing with some more fun cartoony adventures of Clark and Bruce in their earlier years. Yeah, this story is great. I'm really enjoying this. Solid storyline so far. We're gonna throw it in the B tier. Good stuff. Next up, we got Daredevil Punisher, The Devil's Trigger #2. It's written by Jimmy Palmiotti with art by Gabriel Guzman and Tommaso Bianchi, colors by Brian Valenza, letters by Joe Sabino. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to continue with this series, but I have a hard time taking much of any of it in for some reason. Maybe it's one of those ones that I'm gonna look back on a little more fondly when it's like all together as one story I can read. But month to month, it's just not sitting with me. But it's weird. I'm coming off like remembering that I liked it and stuff, but I'm just, it's yeah, we're not reinventing the wheel here. I don't know. I'm having a hard time really saying much about this one, so I'm just gonna throw it in C tier. I'm going to continue on with this series, but for some reason, it's just not like I can barely remember anything that happened in this issue. I'm just literally drawing a blank right now. Yeah, like Matt was missing a date, and you know, Frank is doing Frank stuff. Yeah, it's a C. I mean, this is just an average. I don't know. I'm basically buying it because I like these two characters, but Devil's Trigger is not impressing me this much so far. So we'll see how it goes next issue. But let's just move on to something a little more fun to talk about. Um, DCKO Harley Quinn versus Zatanna #1, written by Leah Williams with art by Mirka Andolfo, colors by Romulo Friardo Jr., and letters by Steve Wands. This is, I'm a huge Zatanna guy, and I couldn't care less about Harley Quinn at all. But this issue I surpassed all my expectations of what was going on. I mean, yet I didn't think this fight month would bring as many surprises with it as it has. Like the Aquaman issue, namely, or the tone of the Wonder Woman Lobo issue, the weird meta stuff going on with Captain Atom throwing literal comic panels at Superman, and I didn't think we would get a good character study of either of these characters in this issue, but we really do. It really hammers down a lot more on the characteristics of Zatanna that you know, um, unless you're reading her books, she's just kind of the magic person in the background. And yeah, this very much felt like a double header. I mean, these two had pretty equal screen time and pretty equal storytelling, with Harley just having a blast with the brutality that this tournament brings on. But I mean, her and Zatanna kind of have a connection in their past and are kind of friends. And yeah, Z doesn't necessarily want to do this. And yeah, it's just really cool to see them face off, to see oddly Harley breaking the fourth wall and Zatanna being confused by it. I'm wondering if that was just a little joke in itself, because that shouldn't be the case. It's the other way around. But um, I really like the way that this went down with Harley just going for a cheap shot in round one and knocking Zatanna in the throat. So it's like, yeah, you're not going to be talking backwards, let alone at all. So she just beats the crap out of her. Boom, round one done. And Z does get the upper hand in rounds 2 and 3, with Harley kind of, like letting her know that, dude, there was no way I was gonna win against you. Like, I got that trick off in the first round, but There was no way I was going all the way. It always was going to be you, and it's got to be somebody like you. It can't be somebody like me winning this tournament. And it was really like sweet and humanizing for Harley to be like, yeah, I may be Harley Quinn, but I can't be the one to win this and reshaping the world. That's a bit much, right? Like somebody like Z has to do it, and I absolutely loved it. This surpass. I didn't, you know, I'm a Zatanna mark, so of course I'm gonna enjoy this, but I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I did. And I am going to put it in S tier, and I'm not just bullshitting. The Swamp Thing I like much more, and we'll get to that one and how I feel about that issue later. Um, but man, yeah, this was great. This was S tier. This is one of the top fight month issues. Like, oh yeah, and can I call out Mirka Andolfo's art? Like, I'm usually, I'm really touchy and trepidatious about an anime influence, but man, it really ruled here. It was restrained and stylish and felt unique, and I loved it. And it was just clean and bold, and that's how I like my Zatanna. I like, the way Campbell does it, or I haven't read it yet, but what I've seen in Bringing Down the House, like just that really clean, bold lines for that character. It's just works on every level for me, and well done, well done. I mean, this was a near perfect comic book in my opinion. I really was surprised at how much I like this. Moving on, we got GI Joe number 16. We got the Dreadnought War part 4 of 5. This is written by Josh Williamson with art by Tom Riley, colors by Jordi Belair, and letters by Russ Wooten. Yeah, we have the Dreadnoks kind of screwing up here, and trying to have too much fun with taking out Cobra Commander. Then they get attacked by who is it? It's not Baroness, it's Covergirl and Clutch come in to help out Duke, because as it turns out, as Destro also finds out in this issue, Cobra Commander is the secret to Energon. And I'm new to this whole Energon universe and what's going on in it, so I'm like, that has something to do. I know the Transformers eat it with what's going on in their storyline, but I, it, yeah, so maybe it's not hitting as much for me, but I didn't feel like anything bad was going on for here. I just felt like the new kid, like, oh yeah, that's is super important because they have to put it in their chests or whatever, like the Allsparks and the movies, or I don't know how Energon works. I'm just bullshitting, but yeah, this issue rules. I gotta say that at first with this GI Joe series, I wasn't too sure about the colors and the style of the drawing, but I've really, really, really come to like it. And the just balls out violence and action in this issue was great, and I can't wait till things come to a head next issue. Things are looking good for me sticking with this GI Joe series. I am finding it to be an absolute blast, and perhaps one day I'll even buy the trades for the Transformer side of things so I see what's going on. But um, yeah, this is just fun, action-packed fun. I can't wait to see the culmination of this and how much more interested it's going to keep me, because it's doing a great job. We're gonna throw GI Joe right into that A tier, 'cause I really like. I think this is the best issue of the Dreadnought War so far. Um, I don't know, but that whole double page spread with the chase scene split across 2 pages, showing Duke on one side and Cobra Commander on one side. They both jump out on the top, do a bunch of stuff on either page, and jump back down to this. That was pretty king. That was one of my favorite spreads of the year for sure. But yeah, great issue. Speaking of great issues, we got another one right here, The Mortal Thor, number 5. This is written by Al Ewing with art by Pasquale Ferry, colors by Mike Billa, letters by Joe Sabino. Boy, The Mortal Thor. This is good stuff, and it's getting even better. This issue opens up with Odin talking to Loki. We left off with them at the end of issue 3 and took a break for issue 4 to do some Asgard fun. But we're back with Sigurd here on Earth, And Odin just basically telling Loki, like, hey man, like I'm not doing this all father cleaning up your messes anymore. This one's all on you. You deal with this. And we get a nice little history of the significance of Donald Blake to the Thor character. Can't wait to find out why he's the serpent, or the significance of the serpent in all this. But yeah, this is really cool. Thor is, you know, interrogated by the cops, and they are. Seems like Thor might know, or Sigurd might know that he's actually Thor, and he's this whole series so far, he's been playing it up like he doesn't know. So I don't know. There's clearly more going on that meets the eye here, and a lot of intrigue with a street level Thor story. I mean, this series is a great surprise, and it's working on all points, and a great jumping on point for anybody remotely interested into Thor. I really like the Mortal Thor. I think it's one of the best books on the stands right now. Continues to impress me. A tier for sure. Next up, another Marvel book. We got Planet She-Hulk #2. This is written by Stephanie Phillips with pencils and inks by Aaron Cooter, as well as some inks by Scott Hanna, colors by Sonia Obak, and letters by Joe Caramagna. Um, the palace intrigue kicks up a notch with this issue. Oh man, this series rules so far. We have our reluctant, temporary ruler, Jennifer Walters, aka the She-Hulk, coming up against all sorts of problems. We have Corvin Blackjaw trying to marry one of the old Hulk's ex-wives. What was his name? Let me look that up real quick. Hiro Kala, that's right. Not familiar with the character. I've just heard about him in this story. But Hiro Kala has this harem of ex-wives, and some of them maybe seeming to want to claim the throne. Um, Corvin Blackdraw trying to marry his way into doing that. We have this character Alara, um, who seems to have some plans of her own, as well as this blacksmith Quaid, who seems to be one of the gladiator class of Sakar, and one of, or just like a very populist political figure to the people of Sakar, kind of maybe posing that he should take things over, and looks like She-Hulk's gonna side with him in this issue. This kicks ass. It really makes me wish I would have read Imperial. I felt like I was maybe jumping into the deep end there, but I think I was maybe wrong, and I probably would have enjoyed it. This side, like New York Street, and this side of Marvel is my favorite. And this is working. I really like what Stephanie Phillips is doing here with the characterization of all these weird, denizens of Sakar that I've just met. I really feel like I care about what's going on, and I hope no harm comes to Rowan Creed, the little chicken man advisor for Jennifer. Yeah, this is great. I am so glad I started picking up this book. Um, I'm gonna throw it in S tier. Yeah. No. A. A. Let's reserve S for perfection. This was just extremely good. This was, you know, yeah. Uh, just extremely good. All right. Let's see. What do we have next? We have Oh yeah. There we are. Superman, the Kryptonite Spectrum #5, closing out this excellent miniseries. By writer W. Maxwell Prince, with art by Martin Morazzo, colors by Chris O'Halloran, and letters by good old Neon. And oh boy, what a crescendo we come to. Lex Luthor has created a clone of himself in the form of this Kryptonite man that's been made and formed through all these different forms of kryptonite, including the nasty green stuff that we have been dealing with throughout this whole series. And I don't want to talk about this too much because this is such a cool and unique and different series. Like, even if you're not into Superman, this is just like an artsy indie comic that, you don't, it just works on every level. The art rules, everything has this uneasy, charming look to it. Um, the just the depth of the dialogue and like everybody feels like the character. Yeah, um it's happening, that thing that happens when I really like something and I'm having trouble spitting out how I feel about it. This was great. This was one of the best things I've ever read. This Kryptonite Spectrum series was so good, and everything that happened throughout the previous four issues mattered so much and didn't feel forced when it came to this finale and how this series ended up ending. Um, yeah, I can't wait to read it again. This is one of those ones that, even though I own the floppies, I'm gonna pick up the hardcover of this, and I will probably buy it as a present for people to be like, I know you're like not into Superman, but read this one. This is a blast. Like, this was perfect. S tier. If I had a tier higher, I might put it there. So that kind of spoils what the pick of the week is going to be. But that's okay. Let's see here. I seem to have lost one of my tabs. Let's get that Superman Unlimited tab back up because that is our next book, Superman Unlimited number 8. Story by Dan Slott with Jeremy Adams writing this one. I'm wondering if Jeremy Adams just, this kind of being a little more of a Guy Gardner centric issue or double header even. I wonder if that's why Jeremy Adams was like, I gotta get in there. Let me write Guy. But yeah, art by Lucas Meyer and colors by Marcello Maiolo, as well as João Canola and letters by Dave Sharp. Um, we have Superman kind of sitting on the sidelines here because the big part, or at first, uh, the big crux of this issue is there's a rocket taken off into space using this kryptonite technology that has kind of taken over um, a lot of the tech world currently in the Superman Unlimited space after the big meteor that crashed earlier on in the series. And so, yeah, Superman can't go and fly along to make sure things are going well. So, who do you call? Well, of course, the next best option. That's Guy Gardner. Yes, of course, the Guy Gardner. Earth's Green Lantern. Like the top of the pile of Earth's Green Lanterns. That Guy Gardner. The whole Guy Gardner that this tier list is based upon is in this issue, and he's using his Green Lantern powers to give himself a bowl cut. And Lucas Meyer is so good at drawing Guy Gardner and making him look heroic and like a total idiot at the same time. And this is my favorite issue of Superman Unlimited so far. I might be a little bit more biased because Guy Gardner's in this thing and he's firing on all cylinders. But I thought the story was really fun. I like that they brought in the Derlins causing trouble. That the former big bads after the Green Lanterns kicked their booties before the spectrum fractured. But yeah, this was a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see where Superman Unlimited goes this year. If you've read the solicits, you know what I mean. But this little era, this first, run, first chunk of this run, first year of this comic has been fantastic. I really enjoyed this issue. This was great. Um, we're throwing a Guy Gardner issue into the S tier. This was great. This was just a perfect little one-off story that definitely can set some seeds for some things going on later. But yeah, I really, really, really enjoyed this. Oh yeah, and bringing in a Sebastian Stagg, little Metamorpho connection. That does a lot for me too. Um, yeah, I really like this. You know, uh, I will totally admit that, yeah, my personal tastes played really hard into my grade for this one. But we'll see how my personal tastes go for this next one, because you might be surprised. Our last book of this week Titans number 30, Cyborg versus Swamp Thing. This is written by John Layman, arts and colors by Pete Woods, inks by Bruno Abdias, and letters by Wes Abbott. Another all fight month issue, or should we say, mostly fight in the issue, because I'm sorry, but we didn't do this in Aquaman. Um, so why are we, what else did we have that was in a series? Let me look at the DCKO for all fight month. Come on. So Aquaman and just Titans, and then we'll see how Flash and Superman go next week. So maybe Aquaman will be the exception of all these. But I was a little disappointed that we're flashing over to the Titans and what they're doing and how they feel about stuff, and basically just setting up the kids are all fight one shot coming out next month or in February or whatever. I get it, but I'm a huge Swamp Thing fan, and those pages took away from really cool fight stuff that could have been happening. And not only that, but they skipped over like the King of the Green Swamp Thing form from New 52, and that's my favorite, and I can't believe it's one of his most powerful like showings, and I'm just shocked it wasn't part of his forms. I do like that in round two he went all like Ronian Swamp Thing from you know uh, near the end of Alan Moore's saga run when Swamp Thing was bouncing around space. I thought that was a great callback and used to great effect, and I like that Cyborg just kind of went all out and kicked his ass in round one. And I do like that um, that well, hold on, I'll get to that last. I'll get to how the fight ends last. I don't like that they couldn't just put a line in the sand on whether or not this is Levi or Alec. Like, I feel like they didn't want to say it, so they're just not pissing fans of either off, and that's just ridiculous. They can coexist. Alec Holland can be drugged back to the green. There can be multiple Swamp Things. All we got to do is play with the lore a little bit. It's fine. It's a character that totally works in that kind of context too. Um, so I mean, just double down. But the vagueness of that I didn't appreciate. But then again, maybe it was the green just steering the ship on this one, and kind of making sure that they weren't involved with the decision at the end. Who knows? But little distractions here or there. Not taking enough chances. I felt, and then I was a little let down by this one. I thought this was going to be my favorite of all fight month. And I thought honestly Harley Quinn Zatanna would be my least favorite, but as it stands right now, that's total opposite, and I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm just gonna put it in C tier. I was a little, I expected a little more coming from the, pinnacle of biology and the pinnacle of technology going head to head, but you know, you can't win them all, and it could be very much that there's a little more of a mandate to, because Titans is gonna have quite the shakeup coming up soon, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was a mandate to be like, we got to start leaving these breadcrumbs right now. And like I said, maybe Aquaman's the exception of these ones that are actual issues of ongoing series for how it was focused solely on the fight. So we'll see next week when Flash and Superman drop. But let's see. Okay, our book of the week. Well, I think that's obvious. It's Superman: The Kryptonite Spectrum. This is one of the best things I've ever read. I strongly recommend it. This is a treat and a great comic, and I loved every moment of it. Really, really did. What a it's just I feel like you know every now and then there's those classic series, and to be able to pick this one up on floppies as it was coming out and be a part of the wave felt fun and cool, and I really just enjoyed the Kryptonite Spectrum so much. So there you go, folks. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you can. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you had a favorite book of the week. let, let me know if you completely disagreed with me or agreed with me. That's great too. I'd love to hear from anybody. But until next time, when we do our poll previews next week, this is Swampy signing off. Thanks for watching and keep reading.